What about all the other countries? Come on, man. Even in Ireland, man. That's why I'm telling people, like, listen. It was the Sicilians that they didn't allow, and they hated the Edomites hated them. It was the Sicilians. It wasn't the rest of North Italy. It shows you right here. Here. Why do Northeast Italians usually have light and the other ones have dark hair and black hair and dark brown and dark complexion? Why? Why do you think? Sicily is an island. And what did the men do? The Moors, the so-called Moors, they went and they killed all the men on that island, Sicily. Here. They went on that island, Sicily. What? Sicily. Okay. They went here and they killed all the men, the Edomite men, and they took and their women, and they took them. But the rest of the land, you know, you had Jake sprinkled left and right and stuff like that. But yeah, these were Edomites, man. Roman Empire style, right? And then they came and they took this whole island. And that is why the Sicilians are dark-skinned. But of course, through mass migrations and hundreds of years later, a lot of Sicilians from here went all over the place here. And also, a lot of Edomites here, they went here and laid with the women here. But it was not so in the beginning. In the beginning, all of them were Edomites. Well, not 100%. But let me focus on this. They were Edomites here in the beginning, and then they were not. You know, they got exterminated. And then the children that came out, those were so-called mixed birth children, you can call them. And then those kept on making children with each other, because eventually the darker skinned ones, the woolly hair was gone. It was gone. It didn't exist anymore. So they kept on having children with themselves, and before you know it, they turned into a different breed compared to this one. But the bloodline of all their forefathers go back to the Jacob descendants. They should be happy, actually, because that means no Obadiah chapter 1 for you. You might be angry like, God damn niggas raped us! Raped our women! Then you find out your Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18 and find out that I'm an Israelite, man. Thank God my forefather was one of them criminals that came and laid with my great forefather. Thank the Lord, please. Oh, Black Jesus. You gonna thank us. Not like these devils be like, no. You gonna hate yourself once that time comes. Once that time comes, boy, you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna be like, I'm an Edomite. Wait. Oh, yeah. Shut up. Torture. You're gonna scream louder than that once that time comes, boy. Anyway, so they take these type of stories and then they embellish it even more and say all of them did it. No, it didn't. In this same book, they show you like some of them were peaceful, loving, some of them were strong, warrior, like stuff like that, and some of them were this and that, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, so it says right here, ruled by 3 blacks. That's why I said I don't need to read this one, because this is not really important actually. I'll just leave this one. Yeah. So to wrap it all up, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be okay. I only need to read that. This is the important part, which shows you that our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because they don't know, and therefore you can get destroyed very easily. That's why you get brainwashed and thinking that these people are correct when they portray Africa. I'm not pushing for the Hamites. I'm defending them. I'm not pushing that we are Africans. I'm defending them. We are Israelites. They're Hamites. But you have Israelites in the midst there, especially in West Africa. West Africa. But like I said, with the Sicilian thing, you have people from West Africa that will move to the other interiors of Africa, man, the other parts of it. And also, you have people that will move from these parts of Africa, and then they will move toward the west coast of Africa and have women there and make children with them there. And also the same thing here. You have the men here that go to the East African people and South African and Middle Africa and North Africa, and then you have the men, the men from West Africa that will go to the other parts of Africa and make children with their women. So now, in the midst of the Hamites, you will have Israelites, and in the midst of the Israelites, you will have Hamites. You also have to remember that part. People do travel. They travel for pussy. Look at in America. Aren't they traveling passport bros? What are they doing? They're trying to get some seed over there. That's what men do. Certain men are really desperate, but I don't knock them. I just think it's funny sometimes, so against their better judgment, they still do it. That shows you that they can't help themselves. It is within them, and they can't stop. But still, the point is, you do have travelers that travel for women. they do. Those two loyal slaves, those two house Negroes, loyal slaves, didn't they run away for women? They saw how the women treated them there. They was like, whoop, whoop, gotta go. Fuck you, bastard. But the Moor, he was a sneaky little bastard in the first place. Why? The Moors they was very criminal. That's why the Moors have fucked their ass up too. But there was some fucked up people. I tell you, not all of them. Again, not all of the natives were savages. Not all of the so-called black people are Bloods and Crips. Yeah, not all of the Mexicanos are MS-13. When you go to their country, the first thing that you think is, I'm going to get kidnapped. They're going to steal from me. I'm going to take my gold and chop my fingers off because I'm an American. What? You go over there, you be like, damn, these are the most friendliest people I've ever seen in my life. They're friendlier than everybody that's in my neighborhood. People that are living in the same building as me don't say hello. And here it is, a stranger, never seen me a day in their life, say hello. So I've seen some racist ass sons of bitches over there too. They hate dark skin and they love the conquistador. But you know what the funny thing is? Sometimes I love checking them. It's them house Negroes I want to fight. But the other people, I just say like, oh, okay, so hey, what's up, conquistador? Hey, don't call me that. Why? You think you're them, right? Then they start realizing, like, you're right. They start realizing, like, okay, you're right. So they, but house Negro, I don't want to go back and forth with you. I want to do something else. But anyway, I'll just leave it at that. I hope the Heavenly Father give me the strength to do that. One day. One day. I hope I get to avenge my ancestors. How about that? I hope I get to do this. People gonna be like, vengeance belonging to the Lord. I know. But you know what he said? Joshua 10:13. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed. Why? Until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Joshua? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Why? So that we can see you and kill you. That's what we had upon these Hamites over there. And I pray the Lord is going to do it again, but this time for everybody that's just against Jacob. That's it. If you a Jacob descendant, you against Jacob, guess what? You can guess what? You want to know? You're going to find out, Lord willing. If I was you, I'd start teaching your kids not to be like you. If you want to have a bloodline that's still alive. Bitches. Anyway, so, yeah. I'll put this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. and you need to know who the real savages are. Don't, you shouldn't wait for, but this is a great opportunity for the ones that see it. You shouldn't wait for a streamer to destroy the mindset that you have been given by these satanic creatures that call others barbarians. But if you look at their deeds, you'd be like, if that is a barbarian, then what are you, the devil? That's the only, that's the highest I can go. I can say more, but they're going to flag my video, so I'm not going to say that. You know, it's a vagabond, you know. But there's more. But I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, when he went there, he found out he's not the only one that can do this. He was shocked after realizing in Africa people are as athletic as him.
But the vibes is immaculate, man.
Anyway, so he's not the only one that could do that. I saw a lot of people do it. I was like, damn, all of them can do it? Nah, of course not, man. I can't do that shit. I can't play basketball. How about that? I can't play soccer neither. Can't do that. I have other things that I'm kind of good in that I know that other people are not good in. But that's why we are all individuals. Because a lot of Jacob descendants, you know, they could play ball. I can't do that shit. I don't have a desire to do it anyway. But loose from that, I can't do it. I can do it a little bit, you know, just but I'm not good, and I know I'm not, and I'm not even going to try because I'm not good, and I don't want to. I can try, but you know, I don't have the desire. But other things, I'm kind of good at that. Certain things I'm better in. So yeah, it's it's life. That's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't need to be good in everything. You do have certain people that are fucking proud. They really think like they're great in everything. They really are. Don't like people like that. Because you're not. Unless you are, but then you don't have to say it because people are already going to know. Like, hey, he's good in a lot of things, man. Put a book in front of him. See if you understand. But see? There's always something. So I'm not trying to be this ultimate creature perfect thing. But Lord willing, the things that I'm interested in myself for myself, oh, I like that, you know. So I'll try to be dope in that. Stick to what you are good in, and you can adventure yourself toward other things. But yeah, I'm not good in this. I'm not good in smoking each other. I'm not good in that. But they're good in different type of things. They could rap. They could do dope things. They're athletic. They're strong. A lot of them are not because they got guns and, you know. But others are strong. You know, so it's a different ball game, man. You know, everybody got their little thing going on. But yeah, I'm looking at the same time while talking. Sorry. So yeah. So with that, oh yeah, no, I don't, well, I did have something here actually. You look. You had here, oh yeah, I forgot that. It was talking about the interiors. I don't think I put it in there, but there was something here that he wanted to make war. Wait, let me see here. He wanted to make war with the Benin. Let me see something. Sorry, man. Benin. Oh, I forgot it. Okay, so it says right here, right? And having done all these things and well provided for everything, he embarked at Bordeaux or something like that. August 2nd, I would think. Whatever. With the permission of this guy, lieutenant for the king of Guyana. However, his passport makes no mention of going to Florida, but of going to the coast of Benin in Africa. So, this Edomite went to Africa in Benin. What did he do there? To make war upon the Negroes, and descended the river of Royan, 20 leagues from this word, where he made his armament both of soldiers and of sailors. So basically his army. So yeah, my point is of reading this is to show you that what did they do? They went to Africa to get slaves for America. They was already in America, but they went to Africa to get slaves now. So this shows you that, oh wait a minute, so Hernando de Soto, when he was talking about the Africans, those were not slaves. Those were what they call Indians. The Dutch and the German call them Caribbean Moors. Basically Caribbean blacks. The word Moor is black. Moreno is black. Okay. So what were they doing in this? But why specifically Benin, Africa? Why specifically? Well, here you have the word Benin. It says here, Bight of Benin, Gulf of Guinea, so whatever that word is, Guinea. Here you have Benin. It says here, Judah. So it says Kingdom of Judah, or Wihida, Slave Coast. Wihida, which is Judah, Fort Judah. So what is this country called? Look and remember this word here. The Kingdom of Benin. Yeah, they had their own kingdom, but you have this one here. This is what it's talking about. So look at the arch here. So it's shaped like a boomerang, right? So now I'll go here, and guess what? You have it again. This is it. Benin is talking about Dahomey. So why did they go to Benin? Because the Judites were there. The Israelites were there. The Kingdom of Judah was there. That's what they went to go do over there. So Hernando de Soto is documenting that he went to Negro land, because that land was called Negro land by, you had like Dutch people make maps, and this is of course English, but yeah, but you had Dutch people made maps also. But anyway, it says right here Negro land, as you can see it in the big cow letters. Negro land. They called this Negro land within Africa. And what was the Negro land? Only this part. This part was Negro land, what you see here. So nowadays it would be, fancy word here, fancy word, equivalent to this one. This is it. So this is West Africa nowadays. Well, this is actually what they would call West Africa. You would think that this all here is, well, in the middle, you know, here is West and here is East. That's what you would think, right? Well, to a certain degree, you're right. But how they did it, how they calculated it is different. This was calculated as West Africa, even though this is also in the West. But anyway, this is, I don't know what they call it, man, South, West, whatever. But anyway, this was where the so-called Negroes were. This was called Negro land. But you have to understand, the people from here also migrated down here. Within this thing here, they migrated to down here. Okay. And then South Africa, the Dutch people took that over. So it's a lot of Dutch people. Oh, sorry, there's a lot of Hamites over there, but you have people from here that moved to here a long time ago and all that there, and you have people from here that moved to different places in Africa and stuff like that. So you have to understand that. But in general speaking, this is West Africa. Here, Mauritania, Jacob descendants. Here, Moors were here. Moors were here. Algeria, Moors were here. Libya. This is Put, one of the sons of Canaan. Ham. Here's where he was in the beginning. But anyway, so here were Moors. Moors were here. I have a video showing you that here. Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, which is Put, Mauritania, Western Sahara, Spain, and Portugal. And they were also in the Middle East. And they were also named Berbers and stuff like that because it was the Moors that had sex with the Arabian females, Arabs. And then, like the picture I just showed you, where you had the here. This is an Arabian woman, man. We used to sell them. But just like any old pimp, he'll fuck his bitches. That's what he will do eventually, and they're gonna make babies. So they did that. They did more things, by the way. But you had also honest. No, I wasn't saying. Let me say it differently. You had also normal Moors that would actually normally marry Arab women. You know, they would not marriage and do you think love a wife? No. They would take them as their wives and stuff like that, and then they would make children with them. You know, so yeah, that they did that. And yeah, and Morocco is up here. That's where the Moors come, right? Wait. Right. So it shows you here. We were here, and we were also in Malta. Where's Malta? I think here somewhere. Anyway, here this whole region. It says Tunisia, the Moors were there. Libya, the Moors were there. Algeria, the Moors were there. Morocco, Western Sahara, Mauritania. And yeah, we were here. You had the Kingdom of Judah because they didn't call themselves Moor, or weren't called that. They were called Negroes, but basically Judites and stuff like that. In the beginning, they knew who they were, but later on, we kind of lost it. So to round it up to a certain degree, I'm not sure if Chad. I need to look that up again. But this was us within the border of this thing that I'm going to draw here. This was Negro land. This was Negro land, and the Hamites were then therefore here. Here within that circle thing, almost circle thing that I drew here. The Hamites were here, you know, stuff like that, right? And like I say, people migrate, so they didn't stay here, and neither did the so-called Negroes stay here. They intertwined with each other and made children, and some of them went here, and some of them went here. You know how it goes, man. Come on, man, you know? I went from all the way here to here. So, yeah, people travel and go and make children in these regions, and people from here go, well, they don't really go from here to here. It's actually the other way around, and the Dutch actually do go here, and they you know how these devils do. They do that. They've been doing that for hundreds of years, and especially here, a lot of people accept them, and they want to make children with them because they think of a greater future, and here too. But then again, all races do this, you know. The Asiatic do it. The Arabs are not really glorifying that. So I'll tell you that the truth, right then and there. The Arabs don't really glorify. They glorify the skin. They do glorify the skin. Don't get me wrong. Okay. So in actual case, they actually do. Because now I'm thinking like, no, they actually do it. But they still want to keep their pride as what they are, you know. Much like Latin people. I don't know. They love their skin, and you know, but they still trying to always. Haven't you noticed? You need to notice it. If you go on these Reddit sites where girls are, they look like Edomites, but they will always say, "I'm a Latina." They always want to represent themselves. Because if they don't say it, they look like Edomites. But they want to say it. They really love saying it. You know, they really love saying it. They love saying it. But they don't want to associate themselves with black. They don't want to associate with themselves with being native, like Indianos. They just want to be Latin. You know, so that's a form of the caucus worship type of shit. You know, they have it, and the Arabs have it too. They kind of the same almost. And the East Indians have it. They definitely really have it. They have it really thick over there. You know, but Yeah, a lot of people have it actually, especially the Asiatic people, man. They have it too, man. But they really worship Esau, like really worship. That's just a different breed. India and all these other Asiatic countries, China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Bali, no, not Mali. Bali is these people. It's Japhet. It's Japhet. You have Bali people, but Mali is Africans. These are Israelites. Mali people. Well, not all of them. Not all of them, but yeah. You do have them there. But yeah, so with that, I will say, oh yeah. I forgot to put this one. Wait, let me see some. Right, so I typed in the word, of course, Yamasee Indians. Then you get these. You get these Yamasee Indians and the Yamasee War. And then you look at them and be like I met this idiot that was, saying dumb. And there's many of them, bro. There's many of them, but I met one anyway. But anyway, so a lot of them say it's dumb. All of them actually say like, these blacks, they have no culture. Why are you trying to steal Native American culture? And I see natives say that shit, the same thing too. But they have been programmed by Esau, so they don't know shit. And the other people that say it are devils. They're Edomites themselves. So, but yeah, I'm not really bothering myself with that because I know that they're liars by nature, satanic creatures. So I'm not bothered. But here if you type in here at Pinterest, and they make sure that Pinterest doesn't pop up in Google, because Pinterest will teach you a lot of things with pictures. They don't want that. So you're not gonna find Pinterest anymore. Back in the days, man, if you type in something, Pinterest has a picture for you. It was crazy. It was all over the place. But now you don't find Pinterest on Google anymore because they blocked it. You really need to put the word Pinterest. Pinterest. Anyway, so I think you're pinning your interest or something like that. Anyway, you could see here, for example, these are the Yamasee people. Look at their hair. But they have the Asiatic eyes. But anyway, look at their hair, man. And this is not, people be like, yeah, this is just a picture. Well, it's actually a real picture. Like with a photo, like the Edomites took it and clicked it. These people had straight hair, man. Dark skin looking, Asiatic type of eyes, and straight hair. Crazy. And this is a real footage, man. But this is a painted version of it. And let me see. Where was I? Here, no? Sorry. Yeah, all the people that were in that land before, and yeah, they murdered them all. Okay, I can't find it. I want to just show this one. And you had these people. So crazy, ain't it? You have the ones with the same haircut. That's what I'm telling you. That you could know which tribe they were from because they was dressing in the same type of clothing. You had women dressed like this, and then you had other women that was dressing naked. They was kind of naked. But when they want to portray us, our people, all of them, all the 12 tribes, when they want to portray us, they want to portray us like the naked ones, like the ones with in Africa. You also had naked ones over there, but I just showed you that you had other ones. Oh yeah, you had tall, so-called big black ones like this one, so-called big black. You had these ones. The Hernando de Soto is showing you that, man. And their women were big too. But let me see, what is this? Account suspend. Okay. Apocalypto. But what do they want to show? They want to show this and then portray this to the rest of the world. That's why our people are now shocked. The American ones, at least, they are now shocked that that Africa looks like this. They're shocked. But me, I'm still laughing because they could have just done this. It's just amazing. But I understand if something is not on your radar, you're not going to look for it because you don't know of its existence. As soon as you know of its existence, you're going to look. But me, I'll look anyway. So, but of course, not everything, man, because that's just stupid. Because a lot of things I don't know. Trust me. No, don't trust me. Don't trust me at all. Just believe me when I tell you. Like, the reason I said don't trust me is because you shouldn't trust, man. You shouldn't trust me. Well, you can trust, not me personally, but you can trust the person, but you can believe that you can trust in the Heavenly Father that He sent a man to come and, explain something to you or something like that. Okay, that I do. I do that with other people and stuff like that, with the elder apostles of Great Millstone and stuff like that. But I'm not putting my trust in them. Are you stupid? I'll smack the shit out you personally if you're trying to put your trust in me. That's demonic. That's very demonic. I can't save you. I'll tell you in your face, I can't save you, boy. I can help you toward the path of salvation. Lord willing, I can. I hope He makes me tell you the right things in order for you to understand Him more. But anyway, they don't understand that these things exist. They don't. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I do it often. You know how many years I just do this? I'm not in Germany, by the way. But I just love looking at pictures like this. It's kind of woozy, blurry. Why isn't it showing? Okay, cool. Leave it. Look at pictures like this and stuff like that. When you look at it, you be like, man, it's beautiful, but isn't it boring there? Don't worry about that, man, because the only thing our people are thinking about is having your face in the telephone walking the street. That of course is going to be boring. But believe me, once you go there, you have more. You have things to do, man. You have things to see. You just want to be like, hey, what's there? Let's go. Like, what's that? I want to know. And not only that, we're going to be able to fly. So you're not going to need a car. So there will be no need for no roads. But we're gonna make the Edomites and the other nations, they're going to build roads. Why? They're going to bring their forces in. Isaiah chapter 60 shows you that. But you're not going to destroy these beautiful lands where you have only one road and stuff like that. That's good enough. Certain places, I have seen these places for many years now, and I want to own it because the Lord said so. The Jacob descendants are going to own everything. And so I'm going to leave you with this one, which is Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 10. And it shall be, when Yahweh thy power shall have brought thee into the land which He sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not. I didn't build this, but I damn sure I'm gonna take that. How about that? Huh? How about that? I will take their lands, and I can't wait. The Most High said so. Since they didn't with us, I can't wait. You have these cities and stuff like that, but this is not that beautiful. I want the cities with greenery. I don't want these concrete junks. I don't like that. Even though actually, certain places do look neat. They do look neat. I'm not really attracted toward it. There's a website, not a website. There's a page on, let me see, beautiful. I think Sweden or Denmark. Norwegian. You have a lot of these pretty cities, pretty small, not actually villages, not actually cities, but Well, you got towns, villages, and cities, right? But these are kind of villages, I should say. But they're located on pretty places, man. There's beautiful places. I can't figure out now how to name it so that I can show you. But there are a lot of pretty places upon the planet Earth that they look good. They look good to live, you know, and they look good to take over. They look good to take over. This doesn't really look good because I know it's cold. But we gonna have that spiritual power, that spiritual body, so the cold is not gonna affect us. You know, whatever and stuff like that. So the Heavenly Father is gonna set us up real good with them new bodies. And the only thing that I hate about really don't like about the cold is the feet and the fingers. I hate that. For the rest part, I'm not 100% really like 100%. I'm not 100% bothered with it. It's not what I would want, but it doesn't really mess with me, I should say. It's the toes and the fingers getting cold. I don't like that. I don't like that. If I walk, I don't feel it. If I stand still, that's when I get irritated. I think that's kind of the only thing that really irritated me about the standing and the cold, standing still. But if I walk about, I don't feel nothing because I'm moving. Because when you stand still, you start really, oh shit. Hey, let's move, man. Can't stand still all the time. You know, that's about it. But you have so many of these places. Oh yeah, Norway landscape. But you have. I can't figure it out. I don't know how to. I don't know how to name it. But I do have. Wow, let me just leave it, man. I wanted to show you, but basically this is what you should do. You can just check out Norwegian cities or something like that, and then you look. This is ugly. I think this is ugly. But if you're here, it might look nice and neat and all that there. But I want trees in the middle of it and not small portions. For example. For example, you have this. This is what I like. That's why I don't know, man, about the Dutch. Well, Lord willing, we're gonna see what's gonna happen to them. But anyway, when they build stuff and stuff like that, it actually is kind of dope. It is actually kind of dope because you have a lot of greenery within the places that they do build.
This is George.
It is a 15-minute cities, and they do it on a demonic type tip, but loose from that, the layout, it's very convenient actually if you think about it. Like, hey, it's very convenient. But they do it with alternative motives. They're devils, so they do it they have something in their head. But if you still look out at the layout, you'll be like, that is very convenient. And yeah, here you could just cross over here and nothing is bad. You do it in front of the police, nothing is bad. But in America, I see that this is a problem to just cross over. That's crazy. You know, but yeah, here you have like what is it for cars? You have certain of these things that are only for bikes. But yeah, whatever. Like I said, you have places that are very beautiful, and I want to take it, and I will, because the Heavenly Father said so. Which thou buildest not. Deuteronomy 6:11. And houses full of all good things, which thou fillest not. And wells digged, which thou diggest not. Vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full. The Heavenly Father said, everywhere where we set the sole of our foot is ours. Deuteronomy chapter... Let me see. No, Joshua 1:3. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. So the Most High is going to give, well, it's talking about the land of Canaan actually, you know, but I do know that the whole world is going to be ours. So everywhere where the Israelites put their feet is ours. You're going to be ours. And then after 1,000 years, everybody going to get back their lands and stuff like that. Which I'm looking for a better picture than this, but do you see the greenery? Wait. Right, I think this is a little bit better. And maybe this one? Oh. Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically, you don't like this? You don't like this? This is full of greenery. You don't like this? I like this. There's all these green trees and stuff like that. So it's very dope. A lot of greenery. And then you have them little buildings and stuff like that. Not really, yeah, popping out to a certain degree, but I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the greenery and the layout of the buildings. It's dope. I think it's dope. So, yeah, Lord willing, we're going to snatch that up once that time comes. So, yeah, there you have it. So, with that, I will say, let me see here. So, yeah. Don't believe these people, these type of people that show only that they were violent and all that. They was murdering each other anyway. They had a lot of dead bones because, like I said, they was torturing each other. Yeah. But the gang members in the MS-13, they're also torturing each other. I've seen videos. Do you think that I think that all Mexicans are like that? Do you really think that I think like that? I know better. Do you think that I think that all Jacob descendants act like Bloods and Crips? Do you think that you think you boy, you gonna get your stupid ass? No, we don't think like that, man. Yeah, why? First and foremost, I'm a slave descendant, so I know better. I'm not like a lot of Africans. They actually think like that, but they're in Africa. The West Africans here in Europe, they know. Because they see. It's the ones in Africa that think like, hey, the American blacks are lazy. They're this, they're that. And the South American, like Jamaica and Haiti and stuff like that, they also go to North America and then say shit like, yeah, you blacks here are lazy. You've been in this country, you still don't have anything. And then they start living around you. And then they start being blocked by Esau too. Then they'd be like, oh, so that's what's going on. Oh, fucker, you found out? Esau's blocking you, doing it on purpose. And then you come up and you think you're better than them. No, you're not. You're going to find out once that time comes. Anyway, they're doing these. Yeah, you have a lot of, because I remember that in, 4,500. So I think that was it. Yeah, this was 6,000, 45,000 murders. 45,000 murders in Mexico. Let me see. It was one of these years. $12,000, 121, 129. I remember that it was 1 year, and then the government of Mexico said that about 45,000 people were murdered this year. I remember that. I don't know anymore then. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Maybe it was this. I don't know that anymore. So in 6 years, 50,000. I'm not sure. Because it literally did say 4, 5, and then 50, 54,000. 45, sorry. 45,000. But that was a very long time ago that I saw that. But let me see. I do know it was around this time because this article is from 2012. So it was around that time that I found, because I said 2010. And maybe it was in 2010, and then they counted 2 extra years, and that would then count for the 5,000 extra. Within 2 years, 5,000 people, extra came with it. I don't know if that was it. And those days I didn't record everything. I still don't, because sometimes I don't think I'm going to use it until something pops up, and then I wish, damn it, I should have recorded it or made this at least a screenshot. But like I said, I do remember that it was 45,000 people murdered in, I think, 1 year. I think it was 1 year, man. I don't know anymore. Damn shit. Anyway, the point is that the point of me of bringing this number up, I know that it's not all the Mexicans. I know it's talking about a specific group of people. They was doing some real criminal torture shit, man. I'm like, damn. Even the Arabs don't do that when they decapitate an infidel or a sodomite. They just hang them and that's it. You know? Chop their head off. But chopping them in pieces, man? What? They do that to women too there, man. You know? I'm not trying to protect them. Don't get that right. But they do it because, you know, well, some of them females be stealing. How you steal from a kingpin? How you steal from a drug dealer? You shouldn't do that. But they ain't beating them up, man. You know? Damn, I would rather you chop her hand off or something. I would rather you just beat them. But if you, okay, but chopping her in pieces or just chopping her hand off, guess I have to go for the hand off then, man. Damn. You know? But they chopping them in pieces for small things, man. God, damn, what the fuck? Somebody need to be let loose on you motherfuckers, man. And to kill all you sons of bitches, man. But that's what the Heavenly Father did with Esau. Go get him. And he started with those. But anyway, they want to use it as now all of them were like that. That is not the truth, man. If you read the book of Habakkuk chapter 1, you will see the Isaiah chapter 5 too. Around the Judites. They was wicked with each other, man. But were 100% of them doing? No, of course not, man. Jeremiah 34. It was the leaders and the people that followed after him. But the average Israelite, it was not so. Even in the time of Nebuchadnezzar, I'm trying to figure it out. Even in the time of Nebuchadnezzar, let me see now. Maybe it was Jeremiah 39. Jeremiah 39 and 10. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left of the poor of the people, which had nothing. These were the poor Israelites. They had nothing. Why? If you read the book, if you read chapter 34, you will see that the rich Israelites, they enslaved the poor Israelites. They took from them everything that, you know, what they had. They took it. Like some bunch of gang members, man. They come and take your shit and you can't do nothing because you're not as violent as them. So they took it, right? And then what did Heavenly Father do? Which had nothing in the land of Judah. And he gave them vineyards and fields at the same time. So what did the king do? He had his, sorry, I'm looking for something here. He had his captain, Nebuchadnezzar, had his captain, Nebuzaradan, did do this to the people of the land. 2 Kings 25:12. But the captain of the guard left of the poor of the land to be vine dressers and husbandmen. He left them to be vine dressers, which is, you know, making wine, stuff like that. Actually, prunes and grapes and stuff like that, you know, just planters. He let them to do this, and he also let them to be husbandmen, which are farmers. Cultivate the land of farmer. So, but what did he do with the nobles? What did the Heavenly Father allow to happen to the nobles of Israel? 34. Jeremiah 34 and 21. And Zedekiah king of Judah and his princes, the nobles ones, and also the rest of them. Wait, let me read on. Will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, saith Yahweh, and cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it, and take it, and burn it with fire. And I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without inhabitant. But what did he do? He left of the poor. So the Most High put the spirit on Nebuchadnezzar and the captain to spare the poor. Why? The rich was making the poor into slaves. It was the rich Israelites, the nobles. They did it. They were doing evil toward the people, taking their money from them, taxing them beyond measure. Like, hey, what are you doing, man? I'm supposed to be able to feed my family. Oh, no, you owe me. What? I don't owe you nothing. No, you owe me. What? And those type of things they were doing with each other and stuff like that, For example, the Sicilians used to do it to each other too, with the Sicilians extortion. They used to extort these shops. You need to pay a fee and stuff like that. And if you don't pay the fee, then what's this guy? Big, what's his name again? Check-in. He was doing the check-in thing. I forgot. Crip leader? What's his name again? Eugene. Yeah, but he has another name. Big U. I said Big Crip. Anyway, Big U was arrested for what? Extortion. Checking in. Just like the Sicilian mobsters. They was doing that to each other. But this guy wasn't checking in the Edomites, the Hollywood stars in LA. He wasn't checking them in. Of course, because he knew that would draw a lot of attention. He would get fucked up in a day. They would arrest his ass, lock his ass up where he belongs. But since he was doing it to his own people, he was allowed to do this for years. And I always hated this guy. Oh, what do you mean checking in? Anybody got the balls to just kill this guy? But then again, them demons be protecting these people. Ain't nobody getting these type of thoughts in their head. If you just take him out, it's going to be good. He murdered a lot. He caused a lot of people to be put to death. They just got him for one. But I know because I've been looking at what he's doing. Seeing what he's doing. Be like, hey, ain't nobody stop it. How is this even allowed? How is he making people check in? Taking their money. You know what he did? Last one story. He was protecting a store. He got arrested for this too, because the guy told on him like, "Hey, this is what he's doing." He was making a person check in of a store, a Jacob descendant also, making him check in, basically pay extortion money, and then the guy didn't want to pay anymore. Like, hey man, fuck man, you going into my pockets, man. I need to do other things and shit like that. I need to have the profit for myself in order for me to grow and stuff like that. You can't just take my money all the time. Oh, you don't want to pay? And then he sent one of his goons, a few of his goons, went, and then they robbed him. And then he called them on the phone talking about, hey man, you want your stuff back? And then the guy but the cops was listening right there. But anyway, yeah. But the only one that it was a self-snitching thing that happened wherewith they got him with that, because the rest wasn't talking until they started talking. But that's a whole nother story. The point is, I've seen it, and I always ask myself, like, why isn't he dead yet? But yeah, that's what happens, man. People like this often live very long. Unbothered. But yeah, but my point is, does this represent all so-called black people in America? Does it really? Does it really? Well, that's what this guy is trying to show you. Just because they had a lot of murders over here, does it now that therefore mean? Look, it says here. What the fuck does it say? What the fuck does this say? He's trying to paint them off as a bunch of criminals, like they deserved it or something.
A prisoner faced the pain, the more honor he earned. With both the Europeans and more stoically a prisoner faced the pain, the more honor he earned.
Yeah, so they use these things trying to now justify themselves that what they did was basically this. Yeah, they was criminals anyway. Because they justify themselves in murdering Nazis But they are the Nazis. Have you seen this movie? Last thing. Civil War is Captain America from Marvel. If you see this movie, you will see what is happening in America. The government has been taken over, and this group, they waking up like, nah, fuck them. And then the other group, I think I just saw it actually. It's not here. Okay, I got it here. This one. I wanted that actually big, but oh yeah, I can do this. This one. Huh? What did I just do? This one. You had this group that did, and these are the ones that want to love the government. They want to fight for them, die for them. These are the ones that was like, fuck the government, man. I see what they're doing. Wicked shit. So basically, this is what's going on right now. But I can actually, use this for many analogies. You can use this for the Jacob descendants, but you can also use this for the Edomites right now. You have Esau fighting against Esau. You have basically the ones that join forces with Yahweh Hashem Yashar against the ones that are house Negroes and stuff like that. It's a lot of analogies I can make, but yeah, the point is still out there talking about. They're making it seem as if everybody was down with it. Meanwhile, it was not like that. But anyway, so with that, I'm going to say shalom.